The Wolves football team played their home opener at historic Setzler Field this past Saturday. Our cameras were there. Head football coach Todd Knight also joins us in the studio after the big win. And 6 former Wolves were inducted into the Newberry College Athletic Hall of Fame. We'll have the story. All this and more coming up on Wolves Weekly. From the Langford Center studios at Newberry College, I'm Al Delachica.
And I'm Tucker Moore. Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. The first home game for the Newberry College football team was held this past week as the Wolves welcome in the Skyhawks of Point University from the state of Georgia. Our Wolves Weekly team was there.
Saturday, September 13th, the Newberry Wolves had a complete dominant performance, shutting out Point University 49-0 to improve to 2-0 on the season. The Wolves dominated on the ground, in the air, and all over the field, controlling the game from start to finish. Newberry opened up at their own 29-yard line, running back Dwayne Wright leading the charge. Wright rushed for 6 yards on the opening play, then caught a 2-yard pass from quarterback Reed Sharpie. The drive extended when Sharpie connected with DeAndre Coleman for an 11-yard completion, moving the chains and putting Newberry in point territory. Wright continued his strong start with another 4-yard rush to the 48-yard line, but the drive stalled when Sharpie's pass to Keith Desisor fell incomplete on the 3rd down, forcing a punt. Point's possession quickly went 3 and out as Newberry's defense took control. Jaree Bridgman and Jaden Easton combined to stop David Hines for minimum gains, while Avery McFadden broke up a deep pass down the sideline to Brandon Washington, forcing a 43-yard punt. Newberry answered immediately with explosive plays. Kenmaine Brunson powered through for key rushing yards before Reed Sharpie found Rico Dorsey Jr. on a spectacular 41-yard touchdown strike down the middle, capping off a 6-play scoring drive to put the Wolves up 7-0. The defense continued its dominance on Point's next drive. Javion Harris and Jaden Easton dropped Travion Copeland for a 3-yard loss, and Jamar Blandon made a crucial tackle for loss on a screen pass, forcing another quick punt after managed just 6 total yards. Newberry struck again with another efficient touchdown drive featuring a 9-yard connection to Dorsey Jr. and a powerful 9-yard run by Quez Spells before Sharpie hit Keith Desisor for a 12-yard touchdown pass, extending the lead to 14-0. The first half concluded with Kenmaine Brunson's 14-yard touchdown run as time expired, giving Newberry a commanding 35-0 halftime lead. The Wolves had accumulated over 250 yards of total offense while completely shutting down Point's attack. The second half began with more defensive pressure as Javion Harris dropped Point quarterback Payne Allen for a 4-yard sack. The real highlight came on special teams when Tyleek Mathis fielded a punt at the Newberry 32 and exploded for a spectacular 61-yard return to the Point 7-yard line, setting up an easy touchdown when Mason Kidd found Alex Meeks for a 7-yard scoring strike. Newberry's ground game took over in the third quarter. Kenmaine Brunson and Mason Kidd combined for powerful rushing performances, including Brunson's 10-yard burst and Kidd's explosive 13-yard run, with Kidd capping the drive by punching it in from 5 yards out to extend the lead to 49-0. The Newberry defense suffocated Point throughout both halves. Mason Greer and Jonathan Sexton combined for crucial sacks, while Dylan Lockyer broke up a deep pass in the red zone to force a turnover on downs. The secondary made key plays with Caleb Wade's interception and Jaden Morrison's game-sealing pick in the final minutes. Despite Point showing some late-game fight, with Nowatzki Bannon connecting on a 20-yard completion to Brandon Washington, the Wolves' defense held firm. Point only crossed the 50-yard line twice all game, resulting in a complete 49-0 shutout victory. The 49-0 victory showcased Newberry's dominance on both sides of the ball and in all phases of the game. The Wolves held Point to a 0-point deficit with explosive offensive capabilities, a suffocating defense, and strong special teams play. The Wolves are 2-0 on the season. This comprehensive performance sends a clear message about their championship aspirations for the year ahead.
All right, so, Tucker, what an awesome start, right? A little shaky last year. I think they had some of the quarterback issues. I don't think they have an issue now. I mean, Reed Sharpia is absolutely incredible out there, throwing left or right. Seems that the passing game is just really hitting on all cylinders right now at the start of this season. Good thing, though, is that, because of the big win, other guys got to get in there, like Coleman Grade, Mason Kidd. Very important for that, that line of succession, right? That as soon as one guy, it's time, he's got to leave, he's going to have to graduate at some point, you got to get the next guy up there. And these kind of games are really good, not only for the big win, of course, but because you get those other guys some much needed experience. Oh, yeah,
and I think it just goes to show the experience with this team. This is a very experienced team at this point. So the guys next up, it's a lot of young guys. It's a lot of guys who are wanting to get that play time, wanting to get their feet wet. And I just think it was a really great performance. The defense was, once again, they played their butts off. That point didn't cross the 50-yard line but twice. Obviously pitched a shutout, the first since 2018. It was just a really good performance, and I think they had a really bad taste in their mouth after last year. And they sure as heck are coming out early and showing they're getting over that. So.
Yeah, they absolutely are, and we'll have a lot more about that. You don't have to hear us talk about it because head coach Todd Knight is going to be back with us for the interview segment right after this. Wolves Weekly will be back in a moment.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. I'm DeAndre Coleman. Joining me today in the studio is head football coach Todd Knight. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you for having me in today, DeAndre. Man, I really look forward to coming and doing this interview with you.
Yes, sir. Congratulations on the win this Saturday. Can you tell us a little bit about your start and how are you able to stay focused on going into each week?
Well, congratulations to you as well. We're 2-0 together. We talk about it all the time about we're one and we're in this thing together. And I think today this is kind of a great example of it today. Staying focused with it, that's easy part when it deals with a team like we have this year. I think this team's probably closer than a lot of teams I've had over the seasons. You guys are having a lot of fun together. A great example of it is in the locker room, and you guys hang out together all the time. You're playing cornhole, you're playing ping pong, you're sitting around watching TV. I basically have to run you guys out of the locker room after practice at night, and that's a big deal. When kids want to hang around each other and have fun with each other, and they're pulling for each other. I don't know how many wins that'll bring us, but I know that it's brought us success so far, and I hope you guys continue, with this mentality and this approach to the game this year, and I love it, and it keeps me enjoying the game as well, and it's a joy to be around.
Yes, sir. Could you give me a little bit about your goals and aspirations for the team this year?
Well, I want to win every game. That's kind of my thing all the time, but. Just seeing success, it can be measured, not only with wins, that type of thing. Success can be measured a lot of different ways, and I see it every day with our group. In the classroom, on campus, kids doing things the right way. Expectations for us are high this year. But we always talk about, don't look at the expectations with wins and losses. Look at the expectations every day with the little things. The little things add up to the wins. Little things like how you're dressed at practice. Are you ready? Are you on sides? Are we not finishing the drill correctly? Every little thing is looked at every day when we walk out of that locker room. You know, everything has to be perfect. I know every day it's not that way, but we strive for perfection every day. And if you go out there and you do that every day, it'll add up. It'll add up to W's.
What are you looking forward to most about the season?
You know, my thing is just hanging out with you guys. You know, I have a lot of fun being around you guys. That's why I do it. I love the kids. I love the game. But, you know, just being around the guys, man, it's fun. You know, just to get an opportunity to go outside and practice. You know, a lot of people don't get that. You know, they don't understand how important that is and just how cool it is to be around you guys every day and all the personalities that we have on the team and making it gel and just seeing it come together.
What's fueling you guys' fire this season? What's walking into week 3, 2-0, what is giving you guys that fire?
It's that makeup that we have this year, that team concept that we are one, that, you know, like a great example of it, we talk about, some guys ask me sometimes, you know, Coach, why do you wear long sleeves? Why do you wear a coat to practice every day? Well, if you're going to be hot, I'm going to be hot. You know, we're in this thing together. And I think that mentality has brought us together and made us a stronger team.
Yes, sir. Now, I see we have, you guys have a couple of new members on the staff. Could you maybe touch on some of those and what are their roles in the?
Well, you know, a couple of new coaches, Deshaun Kitchens, Cole Watson. You know, those guys played for me back in the day and were very successful when they were here. And you know, one of them played in the NFL, one of them played in the Canadian League. So, you know, they went out and continued to be successful. You know, they won some championships when they were here together. And I got to thinking about it. You know, over the years, I've hired guys back that played for me, but who loves it more than a guy that sat in that locker room, that walked these sidewalks, that went to class here? Who loves it more than those guys? And now they're back here, you know, teaching the next generation, teaching the next team how to be successful on and off the field. And I think it's working.
Yes, sir. Wolves Weekly will be right back after the break.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut, the one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink, or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking, now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed, better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead, catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
One of the greatest achievements for any athlete is to win a championship in their sport, no matter what the level. But there is one accolade that perhaps is even greater than that, and that is election to the Hall of Fame.
That honor fell on 6 former Newberry Wolves that gathered on campus this past Saturday for their induction into the Newberry College Athletic Hall of Fame. Our crew was there and filed this report.
Athletic success can be measured in many ways. Some look at statistics to boast their accomplishments. Others look at how an athlete can impact a team's overall success. But for 6 former Newberry College athletes, success is defined by 3 words: Hall of Fame. Newberry College hosted the class of 2025 Hall of Fame induction for 6 very special athletes who have more than made their mark here at Newberry College.
My time at Newberry also taught me a lot of things just about how to approach your discipline and how to be committed and dedicated to what it is that you want to pursue. I had a pretty unique path because I was also a music major, and a lot of people think those are vastly different, but they're actually not. Like the pursuit of excellence in your musical craft is the exact same as it is in wrestling. And so I was very fortunate enough to have coaches and professors. I think that's what makes Newberry so special. It's not just the coaches, it's also the professors who really are invested in making sure that you're successful.
I've dreamed about this for many, many years, literally. It's truly an honor to stand in front of you today. Thank you to Newberry College and everyone on the committee for thinking of me for this wonderful recognition. Newberry College gave me a chance to get a strong education and play the best sport in the world of football.
It was the feeling that I got here and the hospitality and the welcome from Coach and him talking about his players and the team and the culture here that really won me over. And I guess, the rest is history. I loved it then and had the most amazing 3 years playing here. And then my last year, I stayed on and helped coach the team.
I'm standing here honored to receive this achievement, not just for me, but for my core, my foundation, my family, my village, my teammates, this college. I am not the reason I'm up here. I will never forget that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all, and I hope everybody has a blessed day.
For these athletes, it is abundantly clear that success would have followed them wherever they took their talents. But Newberry College wasn't just a stop made along the way. It was a place that helped them refine their craft, grow as athletes, and most importantly, grow as people.
It helped me hold myself accountable, helped me how to set goals and attain them, and also be resilient and bounce back when you don't reach those goals. Understand it's not the end of the world. You can restructure and still get to where you want to go. It just gave me direction, gave me confidence, and just gave me a sense of pride.
Yeah, I think my time at Newberry helped me build a lot of character. I just learn how to persevere and kind of develop that determination through really difficult times. I think that's helped me in my life now. It's just being tough mentally and physically.
Newberry pretty much took a boy and made him a man. So, Newberry instilled everything in me: character, discipline, everything that colleges do, time management from day to day, on and off the field, handling your business as a man.
While unfortunately, 2 of the 6 athletes could not be in attendance for the ceremony, they were all celebrated and awarded with their illustrious spot in the Newberry College Hall of Fame. They now join a long list of legendary Newberry College athletes and are now cemented in Newberry College athletics forever. Maddie Schiffbauer, NCTV.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Food can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. I'm Al Delachica along with Tucker Moore. And now let's get to the scoreboard and get you caught up with all the action that took place over the past week. The Newberry College women's soccer team stayed unbeaten and collected its third consecutive shutout, defeating Shorter 2-0 last Wednesday afternoon. It was a defensive game until Michaela Warburton scored a goal in the 31st minute of the first half off an assist by Bella Gonzalez. In the second half, Sandra Brennan put it out of reach in the 77th minute, and the final score was 2-0. The Wolves goalkeepers played an excellent game with Abigail Bernal with 2 saves and Kiana Burgos with 1. The team then remained unbeaten and secured its 4th consecutive clean sheet, defeating Mars Hill 1-0 on the road Sunday afternoon at Mears Stadium. The Wolves started off fast, scoring a goal in the first 2 minutes by True Ariana Homan, assisted by Haley Patino, and at the end of the first period, the Wolves were up 1-0. That was all they needed, as the defense played solid and held on for the shutout. Madison Gutierrez had 1 save to seal the deal for the Wolves. With the win, Newberry now improves to 3-0-1 overall and 1-0 in SAC play, extending its shutout streak to 360 minutes to begin the season. The Wolves will face off against Southern Wesleyan at home this week.
This past week, the Wolves traveled to St. Augustine, Florida to participate in the Flagler Invitational. The Wolves finished their business trip with 2 wins and 1 loss, a 3-1 victory over Ashland University and a 3-0 win against Lees-McRae College. However, the Wolves fell short against Flagler College, losing 3-1. Standout players during the tournament included Anna Schneider and Carol Hussey, each with 16 kills, and Annie Dill, who contributed with 16 assists.
This past Sunday, the Wolves traveled to face Coker University in field hockey. The Wolves opened the scoring with a goal by Parker Keeler within the first 10 minutes of the game and never looked back. They cruised to an 8-0 victory, dominating the match with a shots ratio of 31-2. Key plays included assists from Parker Keeler and Emma Westbrook, along with goals from Grayson Wright and Emma Holzmeyer. With her 1 goal, Emma Westbrook moved into a tie for the Newberry College career goal scoring record. The Wolves improved to an undefeated 3-0 record with the win.
The men's and women's golf teams both competed this past week, with the men traveling to Greenville to compete in the Savannah Lakes Fall Invitational and the women traveling to Commerce, Georgia to compete at the Seven Oaks Golf Club. The men's team finished 13th overall and were led by Frederick Gannon as he delivered Newberry's low round of the day with 1 under 71. Gannon carded 3 birdies on the back 9 to climb 21 spots on the leaderboard to finish tied for 32nd. For the women's team, they finished 7th overall, and Natalia Aguilar stood out for the Wolves as she led the way with Newberry, finishing at plus 24 for the tournament. Aguilar's steady play across the weekend secured her as the top finisher for the Wolves.
And after last week's football game against the UVA-Wise Cavaliers, 2 players were honored with Player of the Week awards for the Wolves. Mikey Blandon was named Defensive Player of the Week for the South Atlantic Conference for his 21 total tackles in the game. And kicker Burke Nettles was named Special Teams Player of the Week for averaging just more than 48 yards per punt and recording 5 touchbacks on 6 kickoffs and making a field goal along with 4 extra points.
And as always, don't forget that you can find the latest on Newberry College athletics at newberrywolves.com. You can find all the headlines, see the statistics, learn how the teams are getting ready for the next game, and see the latest schedules and get your official Wolves merchandise. All this and more is available anytime you want it and anywhere you are at newberrywolves.com.
And now let's take a look at the week ahead for upcoming games for your Newberry Wolves. And that's all for this edition of Wolves Weekly. I'm Al Delachica.
And I'm Tucker Moore. Join us next week for more Wolves Weekly.